Hello everyone, here's the third Battleground in the fifth run of Forbidden Battleground. So first we're going to start off with this Empire's Honor clear, which honestly is the one that, probably the only one you're going to find interesting for this one. Because the other one is kind of dumb. The star player here is going to be Sonya. She's just really important to be able to kill a lot of these units because she's one of the strongest DPSs among SRs. In terms of just burst damage, and obviously that's thanks to her 3C. And by using Imelda's Whip plus Ninjutsu, she's able to reach that Ballista on the first turn. And she's actually able to kill it with a normal attack, so I can save her 3C from when I need something to be really dead. Aside from that, I'm using Egbert. You know, Egbert's going to do the standard kiting strats with the summon. Makes things a lot more manageable. If all these things just all came at once, it's just no good way of handling all of them at once. So I can place it in range of that that bishop because he's just going to use guard on the first turn. I have Vargas on his infantry class because this map is filled with a ton of infantry units, so there's really no reason to be running on his Lancer here. So these goblins are really annoying. They have basically like a black hole AoE, but what it does is that it just steals a ton of buffs from all your guys, and they actually get more and more stats as they steal more buffs, which is just, and then they end up being like almost unkillable, unless you have like a ton of dispels, obviously. So it's a lot easier to just like bait them in and stay out of range and just kill them when they get close. The other annoying unit here is this fighting monk. Like, this monk is like pretty ridiculous. I wish the fighting monks you could equip were this good. So what it does is that every time it hits you, aside from the fact that it's just like it does a lot of damage, every time it hits you, it actually debuffs you so that you'll take more damage from fighting monks, and you're just gonna take more and more damage from this thing until it just starts to one-shot everybody, or just like it'll obviously just one-shot Vargas first. And once again, of course, I'm using Vargas because, you know, you can have him die like 3 or 4 times and it won't matter. The skeleton's the same as it was in the previous maps. You know, it has an infantry soldier out front, and it makes everything take less damage if you go and hit it, which makes things a lot more annoying. But otherwise, it's actually not that big of a threat on its own. So I really want to take out this this fighting monk because, like, not only does it do magic damage, it does a ton of damage to Vargas, and like I said, it'll debuff you and just continuously make you weaker and weaker to it. Egbert, thankfully, like, aside from fixed damage, he can attack from 3 range thanks to his exclusive. So he can chip away at things pretty well. So I am using werewolves on Sonya because they are probably her strongest option. There are a number of holy units on this map, and I don't think it's really worth, like, it's not worth like giving up werewolves to just like avoid that holy weakness against the holy units I do need to hit. And I don't have bone dinos maxed out anyway, so it's you know, I don't really have that many good options to go for. So now that the monk is gone, and this next turn I can take care of, I can try to take care of the final goblin. So I'm just going to try to take out the Earth Elf Knight here, or the Goblin. after that, there's really going to be nothing left to just to take them all out. And because the skeleton has no more troops, so I can just use Imelda to take it out here. And I don't even have Imelda on a holy class, so like the fighting monks aren't even getting their attack bonus, but they were able to take it out anyway. Now these orcs and the Cyclops, they all just do these stun attacks, which doesn't really matter because I've already defeated most of the enemies, so it's not really a problem anymore. So all there is left is to clean up, and that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Empire challenges are a little bit difficult with SRs because they don't have a very strong healer in terms of just units that everybody has access to. Imelda is an okay healer, but a lot of times if you want to bring her, obviously if you want to bring Queen's Whip, she's not really going to have any slots to bring her heal spells on. She can bring Regrowth, and for the 1C you are probably going to be stuck with Regenerate. She doesn't have the basic heal, which can be a very big problem. This Cyclops is really annoying because he does this thing where you can't target anybody within 2 spaces of him. So basically, you're forced to attack the Cyclops, and if the Cyclops is getting guarded, then you will be forced to attack the unit guarding it, of course. At this point, it shouldn't be too much of a problem for me to take care of them. So aside from Imelda, obviously, I can use Iris as a healer if I want to. But Iris, of course, is a collab character. So I try my best to avoid collab characters if I don't have to use them. Because again, I know sometimes people won't have access to them because they weren't around for the collab or they just didn't play the collab. Okay, so that's the last enemy. Shouldn't be any problem taking him out. So as you can see, I'm actually using Hellfire Archers on Egbert, even though they're only level 5, because the fixed damage is just so valuable. Let's have Sony finish this off. That's going to be the Empire clear. So next is going to be the Tensei clear, and there's really not a whole lot to show off here because Tensei has literally 0 SR units. So I can't even do anything interesting here. I don't really have any choice other than to just use a bunch of SR units because, like I said, there are literally 0 SR and R units in Tensei, and I think it's kind of a dick move on Zalone's part to have a feat featuring Tensei because it's because there's probably going to be a lot of players who maybe they focus on different factions and they're not even going to have any sort of freebie units to be able to even attempt this challenge with. The only good part is that most people probably do have Hilda built. Many people have Ares built. People who play PvP will have pretty much all these units built. So I'm not using any super obscure units here, at least. So I actually decided to move Ares here instead of... some people might think it might be better to move him through the Goblin to the right side. It's actually better to move him right here because remember, Ares' talent requires you to be surrounded within 3 rings. So if I didn't move to that spot, Ares actually wouldn't have been able to one-shot that Goblin. So I brought Hilda on with Templar Knights, and that's obviously because there's a bunch of infantry here. And there is some, and there are units that can do magic damage as well. So Templar Knights is kind of a nice balance between the two. And of course, I'm going to be converting Hilda into Cavalry class later. I didn't do it on the first turn because the skeleton has roar. So, like, if I get unlucky, it's just gonna roar and dispel Hilda's class conversion, which isn't what I want, obviously. But yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot to say for the rest of the map because, like, when you do these maps with, like, really well-built SSRs, they're usually not too big of an issue. So I don't have a whole lot to say here. So enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks for watching, guys. Maybe the next one will be a little bit more interesting.